Hello and welcome to the final day of Digestive Disease Week 2023. I'm Ed Highland with DDW TV, supported by Ferring. Monday was another busy day at McCormick Center. Highlights included the AGA Presidential Plenary and the DDW Diversity Session and Reception. Let's take a look.
Hi, I'm Allison Godlove. This is DDW TV. Digestive health professionals from around the globe are connecting, collaborating, and discovering here at DDW 2023. From scientific sessions to networking opportunities to food on the exhibit floor, there's a lot of innovation and fun for everyone. After 3 exciting days here at DDW, it is our final day in Chicago. Keep it right here. We'll have more on DDW TV, supported by Ferring.
Today's the final day to learn, gain insights, and make connections. Start your day at the DDW Clinical Late-Breaking Abstract Session, or the ASGE Video Plenary, which you can also watch online. It's also your last chance to visit the exhibit and poster halls. In the afternoon, check out the ASGE World Cup of Endoscopy. And as DDW 2023 wraps up, each society will showcase their best science at the Best of DDW 2023, located in Room S103, or watch it online. Don't forget, keep the conversation going. Use the hashtag DDW2023 on social media or visit news.ddw.org.
Our outreach has primarily been to physicians and particularly fellows who are thinking about where they want to land, what community, what practice when they finish their training in anywhere in the next 5 years. We're communicating with them as much as possible to let them know we have a great place for them to land. Our fundamental mission is to bring gastroenterology services out into our communities, improve access, improve the quality of care, make sure the facilities are up to speed, make sure we have enough providers to care for the increasing demand. That's the mission at USDH.
You're watching DDW TV in Chicago. I'm Allison Godlove. DDW is where the world's best and brightest in GI research, industry, and patient care come together. It's also where top investigators unveil new findings. Let's learn more about this exciting work.
In this research, we established a living biliary tract cancer biobank of organoid, and we used the organoid to perform the personalized drug screening on organoid, and we verified it in PDX mice model and in the patients with actual chemotherapy treatment and outcomes. Just in mice and in patients, we verified the sensitivity, the drug sensitivities were consistent with the organoid in vitro, and we think the organoid will be good clinical decision-making tools for patients and for doctors.
So currently there's no treatment for celiac disease outside a lifelong gluten-free diet. Our research assessed a novel compound called DonQ52, which is an antibody designed to block the gluten immune response. We assessed DonQ52 by using people with celiac disease and their immune cells to see whether it could block the immune response, and we showed that it was very effective and it blocked 80 to 100% of the gluten immune response using these patient cells. This was a really exciting finding. It tells us that this may have a potential role in the treatment of celiac disease, so we're really looking forward to future clinical studies in patients to determine both safety and efficacy. And there's a phase 1 trial currently underway here in the States.
It's been an exciting time learning about the new groundbreaking research unveiled here at DDW 2023. We have new innovations coming from the exhibit floor. We'll spotlight a few of them when we come back. This is DDW TV.
Olympus is proud to introduce the EVIS X1, which is our latest video system platform. EVIS X1 elevates the game in endoscopy, and it does that through 5-spectrum LED technology, which brings new imaging modalities to light. First thing you're going to notice is the box itself. It's a single box where we historically have had 2. A touchscreen panel with a lot of customization for each endoscopist. They're also going to notice the endoscopes themselves have changed. Everything we do is for patients and patient safety. This elevates the game for gastroenterologists and endoscopists in today's market. I think this is an industry-changing platform like no one's ever seen before, and we hope it will be.
If your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms are stopping you in your tracks, choose Stelara from the start and move toward lasting remission. Stelara can provide relief after the first dose. And only Stelara offers injections every 2 months, which you may be able to give yourself at home after just 1 IV dose. So instead of symptoms leaving you stuck with doubt, you can keep going with fewer flare-ups.
Stelara may increase your risk of infections, some serious, and cancer. Before treatment, get tested for TB. Tell your doctor if you've had an infection, flu-like symptoms, sores, new skin growths, have had cancer, or if you need a vaccine. PRES, a rare potentially fatal brain condition, may be possible. Some serious allergic reactions and lung inflammation can occur.
Feel unstoppable. Ask your doctor how lasting remission can start with Stelara. Janssen can help you explore cost support options.
There are innovations everywhere here on the exhibit floor. You never know what you're going to find. John Bay with Regeneron is joining us now. Thanks for talking with us real quick.
Absolutely. Very nice to meet you.
So we're going to take a walk through an esophagus.
Yes.
All right, let's get started. And tell me why you have something like this here on the show floor at your booth.
Sure. So I work on Dupixent, and we're approved for eosinophilic esophagitis, which is an inflammation of the esophagus. So we created this as a way to show the underlying inflammation going on in the esophagus to help educate our gastroenterologists.
Very interesting. What has the response been when people see it?
Oh, it's been phenomenal. We've had lines, we've had people taking pictures and selfies. It's been really great to just bring people into the booth and then further learn about Dupixent.
Yeah, very interesting for sure. John, thank you so much for spending some time with us.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming and visiting us.
We're here with Dr. Paul Feuerstadt at the Fairing booth. Dr. Feuerstadt, There's two of you. So this is the man in the box, as you said it.
I was stuck in a box as a hologram.
How was it to make something like this?
This was a lot of fun. It was a true innovation and an exciting element of really when you walk the floor and you see somebody you know and saying, hey, wait a second, I know that person. That's awesome.
How was the process putting this all together?
So the process of putting this together was a little bit like lights, camera, action, which is something that as a gastroenterologist we don't normally get to do. There was makeup, which is a little bizarre for me, but was awesome. And then there was lights and a director and a studio. It was a lot of fun.
So what is something like this, having this kind of innovation at your booth, what does that do for you?
So I think it really just ingratiates the community into the booth, which is, hey, wait a second, he's a gastroenterologist, he's in the community, he's in academia also, he's like me. Let me hear what he has to say. Let me learn from what he has to say. It takes the form of a hologram and I'm not physically there. That's awesome.
Has it been interesting you being here at the booth and being in the hologram?
This is one of the more bizarre moments of my life. So the answer is yes, seeing myself and myself on a hologram is bigger than who I am.
And there you are again. Thank you so much for talking with us.
Thank you, an absolute pleasure.
You can test your knowledge at the Stellara booth with a trivia game. So joining me right now is Brendan Jager. He's with Janssen. This is pretty cool and interactive. Why have something like this?
Well, I think for us at Janssen here, it's a great way to get patients interacting with Stellara and learn some clinical information about what it can do for you and for other people that you might know that are impacted by Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis. It's a great way to get engaged, get a little competitive spirit going, and really just test your knowledge while connecting with patients on the screen here, as well as the data that it offers.
All right, that competitive spirit that he mentioned. Let's try it. Let's test our knowledge.
Let's do it.
All right. Hey, Brian, we're ready to get going. Let's try it.
We've got two contestants here, Allison and Brendan. We've got 9 patients up on the board. Each one of these has a question behind them. Let's start with the random one. Right in the middle is a great place to start. Let's go with Marcy. Marcy's question is, in the induction study preceding, what percentage of predominantly TNF blocker-naive patients treated with Stellara achieved clinical response at week 6? Was it 50%, 63%, 72%, or 56%? What do you think, guys?
I feel like C is always a safe answer.
I like C, but not in this scenario. I'm going to go with D.
D is in dog. All right, let's give that a shot and see how it goes. Is D the correct answer? Yes, indeed. 56%.
Brendan.
And of
Good
course,
job.
we got the data to back that up. 56% of predominantly TNF blocker-naive patients at week 6. You can see it up there on the board. Excellent job, guys. We now have an X on the board. All right, you guys get to choose. Which other patient would you like to go check out for another question?
Let's do Laura.
Laura, excellent choice, Laura. All right, Laura, let's see what you got behind Laura's question. Laura's question is, what percentage of bio-naive UC patients treated with Stellara were in clinical remission at 1 year? Was it 49%, 54%, 40%, or 35%?
I'm going to go with C again.
Once again, good answer, but I'm going to go with A.
I almost said A.
All right, let's see if A is correct. Is A correct with 49%? It is indeed 49%. Nice job.
That proves you have to go with your gut, or you need to just know more about Stellara.
I think it helps when you're trained on this information and you talk about it daily.
Well, this is really fun and a great way to get people to your booth. Thank you for talking with us, Brendan.
Absolutely. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, thank you. Don't miss your opportunity to visit face-to-face at the booths with some of the companies that are leading the advancements in digestive healthcare.
What we talked about was the importance of recurrent C. difficile and how the prognosis of C. difficile changes the more recurrences occur, so the mortality risk, sepsis risk, colectomy risk. So we want to cut that cycle of recurrence. We want to break the cycle early on, and the way to do that is to address the underlying problem. When patients have recurrent C. difficile, there are patients who suffer from recurrent C. difficile for months or years, and receive multiple antibiotics. They're always concerned about getting a recurrence. Sometimes they're admitted to the hospital. So in terms of both their clinical outcomes and their quality of life, I think breaking that cycle of recurrence will be really important.
lot of activity overall, representing our company, our portfolio, and most importantly, a lot of knowledge sharing with healthcare practitioners, industry partners, and HCP and patient organizations on, not only the advancements in our science, but also the future that we have in supporting this disease area. So this is essentially a living wall that represents two things. First off, the representation of an ecosystem. Recognize that we're a part of a large ecosystem of support for those living and suffering with Crohn's and ulcerative colitis. Part of this is showing our enduring commitment to the disease, and with this what you can see is you can dedicate seedlings to anyone that you've known who's been impacted by these diseases. We'll plant these and then represent not only a foundation but also a legacy in support of the disease and those that living with it.
Coming up, we want to hear from you. What are you taking away from DDW 2023? It's been a packed week full of learning, networking, and innovation. Attendees are taking home a wealth of knowledge and relationships.
I'm an IBD specialist, so what I learned at DDW is a lot about some of the new drugs with new mechanisms of action and how to position drugs. And yeah, it's a complicated field, but it's been great to interact with people and see everybody in person again.
So I'm a basic researcher and I study the biliary tree and biliary identity specification and regeneration. And I think DDW has been really important to learn how my work can fit into the bigger context of clinical practice and disease.
This is such a fantastic conference. There's so many different things to learn, but one of the great aspects of it is the ability to meet other fantastic people, trainees, faculty, and then also network. AGA has a lot of opportunities for that as well. So it's a fantastic meeting.
I've learned that after 25 years of coming to DDW, it is definitely better in person, because the years during the pandemic, you just don't get the networking opportunities you have when you're seeing your friends and colleagues from around the world. And this year, a lot of our global DDW attendees have come back, so that's really nice to see these folks, many of whom we've not seen in 4 years.
The past few days, I learned about all the research, cutting-edge research and all the lectures. I feel like that's very beneficial for my patients. And another thing that I feel like is very important is developing your peers, developing your connections. And this is a very good opportunity for people to come together and come up with new ideas and bouncing off new ideas to each other. I think we're gonna come up with great things in the future.
There's so much happening at DDW, it's hard to see it all. Visit news.ddw.org for highlights, session recaps, and bonus interviews. Up next, we're diving into the Shark Tank. Let's see which innovation wins over the sharks. This is DDW TV.
If your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms are stopping you in your tracks, choose Stelara from the start and move toward lasting remission. Stelara can provide relief after the first dose. And only Stelara offers injections every 2 months, which you may be able to give yourself at home after just 1 IV dose. So instead of symptoms leaving you stuck with doubt, you can keep going with fewer flare-ups.
Stelara may increase your risk of infections, some serious, and cancer. Before treatment, get tested for TB. Tell your doctor if you've had an infection, flu-like symptoms, sores, new skin growths, have had cancer, or if you need a vaccine. PRES, a rare potentially fatal brain condition, may be possible. Some serious allergic reactions and lung inflammation can occur.
Feel unstoppable. Ask your doctor how lasting remission can start with Stelara. Janssen can help you explore cost support options.
The Shark Tank at DDW is a fun, high-stakes session where new innovations that will transform digestive healthcare are presented. Each society has chosen a top innovation to compete. I am here with the winners of Shark Tank here at DDW, Venkata Ashkintala and Stephen Hoy. Gentlemen, congratulations.
Thank you.
How are you feeling about the win?
Exciting.
Yeah, it's been great. The culmination of a lot of work.
Yes, absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about that work. Can you give us a quick elevator pitch about your presentation today?
What we developed was a hydrogel, a liquid gel that we can apply where there is GI bleeding. So this goes and sticks to the bleeding site and stops the bleeding. This is just like a Band-Aid. So what we have created is a GI gel Band-Aid that solidifies within seconds and stays there and stops the bleeding.
And there's two parts to this, so what is your part?
Yeah, so I'm the creator of the gel, and so we've developed it using materials approved or accepted by the FDA in their GRAS status database, and so that should help with getting it to market. And so we've created this gel, and it's got a lot of unique properties as a bioadhesive, and we can control those properties to minimize bleeding in GI procedures.
So talk a little bit more to me about the impact that it will have on patients.
So millions of patients undergo procedures to control the GI bleeding. So what we currently use are things like clips, which are often difficult to place and are very, very expensive. So say if it is a big ulcer, we might need to use 6 clips, 8 clips, 10 clips, which adds to the up to the cost. And sometimes it's often challenging to place the clips because of the angle, it may be in the corner or whatever. But what we have is a gel. So gel can be applied just with a simple catheter. You can apply wherever you need to. It goes, solidifies, sticks, and stops the bleeding. So it will reduce the cost of the procedure and make it more effective.
Wonderful. And you also got a trophy as well.
Yes.
Well, congratulations. Thank you so much for taking some time to talk with us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And also a really great opportunity to showcase new products here at DDW 2023. Ed Highland brings us a final recap of an eventful DDW 2023. That's up next.
DDW 2023 may be coming to a close, but don't forget all sessions were recorded and will be available with DDW On Demand. That's a wrap for DDW 2023. Don't forget, visit news.ddw.org for session recaps and bonus video interviews. And stay connected on social by using the hashtag DDW 2023. Finally, don't forget to mark your calendar. We can't wait to see you next year in Washington, D.C. for DDW 2024, May 18th through 21st. Thanks for joining us on DDW TV. I'm Ed Highland. We'll see you next year.